Welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today's story comes from Action Comics number 314, published in July 1964 with story by Leo Dorfman and art by Jim Mooney. Kara, darling, we can't give you up. You're our child, our own flesh and blood, Supergirl. We took you in when you were an orphan, a homeless waif. We've grown to love you like our own daughter. Don't leave us now. Oh, you're all so dear to me. Oh, don't force me to make this choice. Years ago, when she lived in Midvale Orphanage, Linda Supergirl Lee wanted more than anything to have parents. Now she finds herself with two sets: her foster parents, Mr. and Mrs. Danvers, and her real parents, Zor-El and Laura from Argo City. Now the day comes when the Maid of Steel is forced to make a choice between two loyalties and two loves, for this is the heart-rending story of Supergirl's tragic ordeal. In the city of Kandor, once shrunken to tiny size and imprisoned in a bottle, a heartbreaking drama takes place. My wife Alora has been ill for weeks. She doesn't eat, doesn't sleep. She grows weaker each day. Please, you must find out what's wrong. Zor-El, as chief healer of this hospital, I'll supervise her examination myself. We'll get to the bottom of this. But later, heart normal, neuronic reaction positive, a most puzzling case. Your diagnosis machine gives no negative reaction. I'll try the psychoprobe, Ray. It may give us an answer. The next day, she's asleep now. We've given her a thorough check, but I'm afraid there's no remedy for your wife's illness. Please don't keep me in the dark. Tell me what's wrong. She's suffering from heartbreak. I found this tear-stained photograph under her pillow while she slept. Our daughter Kara, known to the outside world as Supergirl. Alora and I agreed to let Kara live on Earth with her foster parents, but how can a mother forget her child, her own flesh and blood? I've ordered a monitor placed near her bed so she can watch Kara to her heart's content. That may cheer her and snap her out of her depression. In the days that follow, Zor-El is a constant visitor. It's our daughter. She and her pet Superhorse are driving off that pack of alien space brains. She's the world's greatest heroine. But to me, she'll always be my little Kara. Kara has completed her mission. She's rejoining her foster parents, the Danvers, for a picnic. I might as well turn the monitor off now. No, leave it on. They look so happy. How lucky they are to be together. Alora, you miss our daughter terribly, don't you? No, it's all right, Zor-El. Dearest, we pledged that we would live here in Kandor without her. Kara's happiness is the most important thing. And yet, I can't erase the memories of our life together in Argo City. Remember how we chose her name by the old Kryptonian custom? Since the infant was born under the constellation of our ancient goddess of beauty, Kara, that will be her name. How was she born under a constellation? And when a terrible epidemic swept Argo City, the child suffers from virus alpha, a highly infectious fever. Put her back in that isolation cabinet or you'll catch it yourself. No, my little Kara cries with pain. She needs me to comfort her. And remember Kara's first pet, the six-legged loomer? Oh, the fun we used to have, picnicking in the Astro Gardens. How she loved the stories I told her at bedtime. Once upon a time, on the wondrous world of Krypton, the beautiful firebirds lived in the Jewel Mountains. Mother, was there really a place as Krypton? Yes, darling, there was such a place. Someday, when you go to school, they'll teach you of our home planet Krypton, which exploded and hurled away Argo City enclosed in a plastic dome. It sounds scary. Then one terrible day, subterranean radiation engulfed Argo City, and we had to bid farewell to our little Kara. We aimed the rocket for Earth with our daughter inside. Farewell, Kara. If only my ray gun to project us all into the survival zone had worked. My father, mother, and all the people of Argo City are dying. I'm an orphan of space now. But at the last moment, we too were saved. My survival zone ray gun does work. This radiation caused a delayed reaction. We're going into an invisible dimension called the survival zone. We'll be safe there. What a pity we didn't know this before we could have saved all Argo City. Unable to communicate with her, we watched from the survival zone as our daughter grew up to be the famous Supergirl. Look, dear, she's saving the Danvers from a fatal accident. How she must love her foster parents. Well, she wouldn't save their lives if she didn't love them. Then at last, from her foster father's help, she rescued us from the invisible dimension in which we had been trapped. Kara, darling, we're coming through now breaking out of the survival zone. Mother, father, after all these years. As Alora's recollections and Alora, we can't change the past. You know we didn't have the heart to take Kara away from her foster parents. That's why we came here to live in Kandor. I know, Zor-El. I must get over my longing for Kara. This makes no sense. Absolutely no sense. They went to Kandor. It was their choice to go to Kandor because they felt like Kandor was more to their liking because they grew up as Kryptonians. They just shrank themselves. And when Supergirl discovered that they had gone to Kandor, she shrank herself. She can visit them whenever she wants. There's really no reason for the mother to be upset. But later on, the hospital lawn, look, my parents brought me an android doll. She's just like a real doll. She can walk, talk, laugh, and cry. Nope. That doll, she looks just like Kara did when she was a baby. Oh, if only I could. That night, a distraught, confused Alora slips into the children's section and, please, you mustn't take me away. The little girl will miss me. I'm her android doll. Hush, my little one. You're not a doll. You're my own little Kara. The next day, Zor-El is summoned to the hospital. Alora, please give back that android. You know she isn't Kara. Get a grip on yourself. Oh, Zor-El. I realized I was just deceiving myself, but I miss Kara. She can visit any time. Alora must be reunited with her daughter or she'll die. Boy, she is psychologically weak, emotionally weak. As chief healer of this hospital, my responsibility is to my patient. I must notify Kara at once. Soon, at the Kandorian Communications Headquarters, Supergirl is away in the past. However, we'll relay the message to one of her robots at the Danvers home. We'll use the hot beam to make contact. Attention, Supergirl. Supergirl robots. This is an emergency. Repeat, this is an emergency. Out of the bottled city, out of the fortress, shoots the hot beam, an invisible communications ray, which girdles the earth at the speed of light. Unerringly, the beam strikes a special detector in the Danvers home at Midvale. Informs Supergirl that her mother, Alora, is gravely ill. Unless Supergirl rejoins her real parents, Alora will die of heartbreak. Robot S-64 receiving. Though partly dismantled for repair, I have recorded the message for Supergirl. But others have heard the message too. Oh, Supergirl's real mother dying of heartbreak because she misses her child. It's all our fault. I'm sure she'll be there in a few days. If even. The only reason she isn't with her real parents is because she can't bear the thought of hurting us by living with them. She's torn between two loyalties. So we'll see. Will the story get better in part 2? Not really.